Now, with the European Championship coming up, I think it's a good time to do some videos around England. Although England just lost disappointingly 1-0 to Iceland, I still think they have a really good chance of winning this European Championship. And in this video, I'm going to explain how they could potentially go about doing it. If you want to see any more European Championship content or Arsenal content, please like and subscribe for any more videos. Now, going into this tournament, I think for everyone, it's quite clear that France are the favourites. I think potentially Germany have a really good chance of winning it, and I think England can be up there too. But if these teams don't perform very well, you could easily see someone like Spain, Italy, Netherlands potentially going far, or it maybe being an open tournament. Now, even though England played most of their games in the last European Championship at Wembley, which obviously helped, and they obviously did lose in the final in the end, they actually had a very good run, and I think played very well throughout the tournament, being one of the better teams. And arguably this year, they've got more players that are coming in on form going into this tournament, and at least going forward, they've definitely got a lot more talent than I think they did in the last European Championship. Now, one of the ways that England can go about winning this tournament, or at least being very much encouraging, is trying to play attack and fluid football. Now, sometimes I think they are a little bit too fluid. I think we saw that in some of their recent games, and even though they've got a lot of attacking presence, they still sometimes struggle to break down low block. This could be an issue because I think England do play a little bit more aggressive system than they at least did in the last Euros, and this is causing big problems at the back. Now, while it is a high risk, high reward situation, England do actually set up in a 4-4-2 base as a press, which is actually a very good level, keeping Kane as the furthest forward. As you can see here, the number 10 will shadow mark the pass lanes between the 6 while applying pressure also to the centre back alongside Kane, who will cover the right centre back and the goalkeeper if he needs to. Once England force the opposition down one side, they try and cover it with Rice being deeper man to man, the winger coming deeper to also mark the fullback, and while the left back in this situation will also push up as well. This also stops the other team being able to switch it to the other side, because usually the wingers on the other side, the right winger in this situation, will come into the centre and sort of cover that off. And you would think with the pace of someone like Walker, that could be able to get in behind, would be a lot harder for teams like that. Now, this is a very aggressive system, and as you can see, Declan Rice often jumps to the double pivot trying to get the 6 on the other team. Now, this is very good because it actually keeps the other team in, and I actually have no issue with this pressing system. However, in order for this to work, you need aggressive pressers, people that are willing to do this job. In this game, we played Foden in the central positions, and he doesn't have that intensity. This caused a lot of issues with the goal that Iceland scored because there was a lot of space in behind. Foden wasn't aggressive enough, and they got in. People blaming Mainu, even though he was fairly shadow marking the players that he was supposed to, although he definitely could come over and cover that ground. Now, in order to improve this, you would have to play someone like Bellingham in that attacking role, which obviously wasn't here for this game, and you expect him to have a lot more intensity and be a little bit more aware. Playing someone else next to Rice rather than Mainu might also be a brilliant shout. Maybe someone that's had a bit more connection with an actual mobility-wise 6, because obviously Mainu has been playing against Casemiro all year, or someone that's got a little bit more initiative to sniff out danger than Mainu does. Now, one of the big issues as well with this system is that the 4 defenders need to be very aware with each other and always keep on the same line. And with the fact that there's been a lot of injuries within this England side, and a lot of players are coming in who haven't exactly had a lot of experience, at least in major tournaments, they're not going to be used to playing with each other that much. So the gap between the goalie and the defenders isn't going to be great, and the defender and midfield problem really struggled against Iceland. And there's always that chance to go over the top against England. Usually you would think the pace would be enough for them to get in behind, but people like Walker have shown to be struggling, maybe through fitness or maybe because he just isn't that good anymore, which could be a problem in this tournament. And the physicality of the players in defence could be a real issue of not having people like Maguire there to really be a great solid header in the box, and there are a lot of one-on-one players, especially against Trippier, who might be on that left side, which doesn't favour him at all. However, if England can get Declan Rice, Mainu, whoever plays in that midfield, a lot closer to the defenders and sort of work with them, they can easily play in a mid to deep block and be absolutely fine. England could counter-attack on teams, but they need to be more aware with the ball and take a lot of time and patience. Now, like major tournaments happen, I expect England to sort of change the systems up, maybe play a 3-back in some games, maybe play a 5-back. It is a lot worse without people like Maguire in the team, unfortunately, but I think we're just going to have to deal with it within the team. People like Konza can come in and always do a job. I mean, we've got Lewis Dunk there, who I don't really rate, but definitely put a job in maybe in a back 5. And we've got brilliant players like Trent that can even play in wing-back or midfield. Now, there's always going to be question marks over the England defence, I think, with just the players that have been picked or are going generally for the fitness concerns. So, to me, the way that England can win this tournament is down to the attack. If the attack is clicking and firing enough, I think they should be okay. They've got some electric forwards out there. Now, in order to be good at transitional phases, which are very important in these tournaments, and be very quick on counter-attacking while also being good against low blocks, which is something they've struggled at. They need different options there. They need people like the fullback of Trent to come forward and work with the winger, and they need different ideas and identities going forward. One of the problems I think they had against Iceland is they have too many players at least starting that want the ball to feed. Not many brilliant pressers in there. A lot of players that are willing to come deeper to pick up the ball to spread it out wide, like we see Kane do, Palmer do, Foden do all the time. This unfortunately is not really going to work. I would not play Palmer on that right wing to start at least the tournament, because I think despite him having some good striker positioning and covering that space for Kane, he is more of a midfield type of player. He's someone that's going to be a great dribbler, great progressive ball carrier in the middle. So if you're going to play him in the centre, that's fine, but if you're not, I wouldn't like him in the team. This can be seen the same with Foden. I think Foden's a brilliant player, but his pressing isn't good enough to play in the centre, I don't think. So for him, actually playing him out on the wing isn't the worst idea. But he's not going to be used to getting two-manned up on out there. Someone that is perfectly used to that is Saka. Saka, I think, has to start on that right wing. He's one of the only out-and-out wingers they have out there. And every other player that you would think to play out on that right wing plays more of a striker, inside forward type than Saka, who's a pure winger, wants to run at people and go at them. Now, whoever you play out the right wing, I think they're all ball to feet players, even Saka is. So on the left, you need someone that obviously is going to want the ball to feet because they didn't pick someone like Rashford in the team, but someone that can play on the outside. So I think Anthony Gordon could be a really good shout to start there. He is way more comfortable on that left wing spot than Foden or Palmer. Foden would still be a brilliant option out there and you could definitely pick that. But I think the fact that Gordon will love to run in behind on the counter-attack could be a very important thing. Obviously, we know how good he is at cutting inside and being very deadly in them one-on-one positions. I think that could be really key for England to get in behind when Kane comes deeper to spread the ball out wide. Now, there's going to be question marks on experience and things like that, which obviously come into play. But when you pick these players, you've got to expect them to step up when you need to. So I wouldn't mind necessarily doing that. And one of the big issues is going to be the midfield, how we are going to work it. Rice is definitely going to play and Bellingham's definitely going to play. Are they going to play in that double pivot together, or will Bellingham play a bit forward, which I think will probably happen? This can be fine because Bellingham's a brilliant presser and can also help the attacking line while putting some good defensive action in if he needs to come back into a free. But you need to make sure that Rice is partnered up in a double pivot with someone who can actually work with him. Now, I think Mainu has tried to, and I think in some games it's worked, in some games it hasn't. But given his age and I think the fact he's not used to playing with someone like Rice, I think it might be a little bit of a big step to just start him in this tournament. He can definitely come in later on in games and work that way. I would love to see someone like Conor Gallagher get a good minutes and at least start some games, because his off the ball work is very crucial. And I think someone having a dogged midfielder that can work off the ball with Rice, who's great on the ball, could be very important of England winning the ball back and actually being able to stay in a mid to low block when they have got a lead, especially later on in the tournament. And people like Anna Wharton are also a brilliant option. Brilliant passer in the middle, a very solid player. Not got a lot of experience as well, but not many players have within the team, so you're going to have to use this as an example. Overall, let me know in the comments what you guys think is going to be the most crucial part of England and what is your starter next site in the team. I do personally think that they should play someone like Rice and Gallagher and Bellingham in midfield, and maybe Gordon or Foden out on the left, and I think the rest of the team you can kind of make sense of it yourself. But it's going to be very interesting to see what Southgate does. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.